Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I have no idea when I'm going to post this, so this is one of the 31 posts I'm posting for 31 Days of Kenya, and it is the Unpopular Book Opinions tag. Okay, so I obviously looked at the tag, but I have not really thought about what I'm going to answer. So this is unplanned and probably a hot mess. I apologize. Oh, let me show you this really cute spoon I got. So if you've watched any of my other videos, then you might know that a couple of weeks ago, I was super nuts about teacup sets. And I went out and I bought a bunch of them from the thrift store. From this thrift store thing that we have down the street. And I love them all. This one is actually my second favorite one because I don't know if it's going to focus on the cup at all. Nope, it's just going to focus on my face. That's a little bit better. Because I just really like the shape of it and the feet and the silver trim. So it's my second favorite. My other one is this little dainty one. But anyway, so I got all of these teacup sets. And then last week, the thing I got so focused on was these little demi-tasse spoons. So I got 4 that look like this, where the handle is like a branch and this is sort of like a leaf. And then I have some that look like guitars and some that look like skulls. And I got some that it's silliness. And of course, when they got here and my partner saw them, he was like, "Oh, I bought you spoons. Why are you buying other spoons?" Because you might remember, some of you will remember how excited I was about the Dairy Queen spoons that he bought me. And I love them so much. And I don't want to use them because they're plastic. And what if they get messed up? So I have these other little spoons, although these are the perfect size for the teacup. So he's not wrong to be a little suspicious of these new silver spoons. Ridiculous. So anyway, on to the tag. As I was saying, it's going to be a little bit of a mess because I didn't prepare this. Usually for tag videos, I jot down what I think good answers would be ahead of time. I didn't do that, so let's jump in. Unpopular book opinions. The originator of this tag is the book Archer. She is still putting things out, but I believe the tag is a few years old. All right, so a popular book or series that you didn't like. All right, so I like most books in some way, which is a bit of a hedgy answer, isn't it? When I read the book recently, My Year of Rest and Relaxation, when I posted it on Instagram, a lot of people posted about how they loved that book. So I don't know if it's popular or not, but I didn't love it. I really didn't. The Children of Blood and Bone. I liked that book, but I was also a little bit disappointed. And I think I was disappointed mostly because of all the hype that it got. I thought it was a perfectly fine book, but it wasn't the end-all be-all kind of book that I was hoping it was going to be. But I don't have any complaints about it. Question 2. A popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate, but you love. Okay, 2 books come to mind. One is a wonderfully written book that has come to symbolize pedophilia. So that is Lolita. I read that book just last year or the year before, and it is great and it is disgusting. But I love that book, and Um, I see why people hate it. The other book that comes to mind is Twilight. I actually do not believe that most of the people who say they hate Twilight actually hate Twilight. I think that it's one of those books that people feel like they're supposed to say they hate it, but it's made cajillions of dollars. Of course, the target audience isn't necessarily the literary interested or the highbrow crowd, but I remember when I read that book, and I'm a grown-ass adult, so I'm not talking about when I was 15. When I read that book, I remember basically devouring book one and rushing out to get books two and three, and then waiting for four to come out or something like that. So, do I love it? Not by book four, I don't. But Twilight is one of those books that I will defend even in its sub goodness in many ways. It is not, and it's got, some bad representation of lots of things in there, but I'm going to put that on my list, even though it's not in my top 1 million books. A love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you did not want them to end up with. Okay, well, I'm just going to say it. Hermione and Ron, what the hell? First of all, there's no reason why Hermione needs to be with either Ron or Harry. There's a whole school, there's a whole world, and she knows people from the Muggle world too, and you're telling me the only choices she's got are Ron and Harry? For sobbing out loud. That was ridiculous. Hated the whole thing. Loved that franchise. I've got a Hermione sitting back here. There's no reason this is in the box, y'all. I'm not being special. I just haven't taken it out yet. A popular book genre that you hardly reach for. I wouldn't say never. I hardly ever reach for mysteries, like mysteries that are actually meant to be mysteries. So the Agatha Christie, the Sherlock Holmes, those kind of things that you're supposed to be able to pick up on clues, because I never pick up on the clues, and I hate that. I don't mind if there's a mystery part of like a thriller or whatever, but I never pick mysteries up. I would read a cozy mystery, probably. I hear those are pretty cute. A popular or beloved character that you do not like. I do not like, this is not what the question is about. Because I was about to say, I do not like the main character of any cartoon franchise. So I hate the bear in Winnie the Pooh, and I hate the mouse in Mickey Mouse. But this is a book tag, so let me focus here. A beloved character that you do not like. Who are beloved characters? Beloved. I don't know. I don't know who you guys like, so I don't know who I don't like in comparison. One person I don't like that seemed to get a lot, especially from women and from young adults, is Lila Bard from the, the book I'm talking about with the multiple Londons, Darker Shade of Magic. I love that book series. I loved it. Lila Bard is a dick, and not in a good way. And she did things that she flew off the handle and put her friends at risk in ways that I thought were not cool. And I do not find the brand of tough girl that is really just off the handle and harmful to the people she cares about to be the kind of tough girl that I love. So I love that book series, but when people are like, "Oh, Lila Bard," no, that ain't it. A popular author that you can't seem to get into. Again, I'm not good at knowing what's popular. Sarah J. Maas, I have really liked the things I've read by her, but I haven't been able to get into them, into those books, any of her series is, with the level of depth and interest that I see other people reading. Um, Popular author. Mm, right now, I'm seeing a lot of Riley Sager. Sagar? Sager? And I just haven't read any of his books. I had one of the books, the one that's black with the green, that was really popular last month. I had that on my list, and I just didn't get to it. I think I will definitely read one of his books. I just haven't yet. So that maybe that doesn't really count. Margaret Atwood, for example, is a book that people, author that people are constantly telling me is great that I just can't get into. Are you guys unfollowing, unsubscribing to me for this video? Because I'm just going on and on about things I don't like. And I don't know if these are unpopular opinions or not, to be honest with you. That's one of the reasons why my TBR card deck has a suit that's devoted to spending more time kind of with book social media, because I just don't spend enough time kind of mingling with others to know what popular opinions are. A popular book trope that you're tired of seeing. Oh man, I love book tropes. They're like a recipe, or they're like your blanket. You know what to expect. I don't, there's not a popular book trope I don't like. I go through periods of time where some things I don't like. Like I still don't like Insta love. I'm gonna be honest, I don't. Because I just don't get it. And maybe that's my own like lack of love at first sight sort of a thing. Maybe I'm just jealous of those bitches. But I don't think so. I love the enemies to lovers. Sometimes it's stupid. Like, oh, in the Unhoneymooners, which I read just a few months ago, I really liked that, because they hated each other, but it was, not their fault, like I liked that kind of thing. The stuck in a situation together thing, like Red, White, and Royal Blue recently, where they had to work together because they hated each other, but really did they, love that book. I don't know, man. I love it all. I love it all. A popular series that you have no interest in reading. There are several book series out right now. I don't know if this is true or not. I think there are several book series out now that are called The Court of something, or The Something of Something and Something, Thorn and, Rose and, Snake and, Dark and. Those for me right now are like a few years ago when all of the dystopian books had a girl in a dress on the cover. And I was like, I'm over. I can't right now. Maybe I'll come back to The Court of and, but not right now. And actually, when I read The Selection, so that was one of those books that had the dress, and I was like, I never read it. And when I read that, I loved that book. So I was just being a jerk to myself. I mean, hating on stuff is really not hurting anybody but yourself. And at the same time, some stuff I can't get into until other people aren't as into it. And that's just, oh, and look at me with my little like freaking beanie and black lipstick. Yeah, man, it's like too mainstream. That is not what I mean. It's just like, I know that if my expectations are too high, that I'm going to be disappointed. So I like to wait until a little bit of the buzz is down. All right, final question. The saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than the book? Well, y'all, let me just be honest with you. None of them. I have a real hate relationship with movie adaptations that I do not seem to have with stage adaptations. So that's a little bit weird. And it might be because I'm so into the art of theater, RE, and I'm not really into the production of movies and stuff. So that might be part of it. But a few years ago, when The Lightning Thief came out as a movie, and I saw it, I decided that that was basically the straw that was going to break, that broke the camel's back. And I was never going to subject myself to the bullshit of adaptation again. And then a few weeks ago, actually a few months ago, I finally saw Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. And I wanted to rip the cords from the TV. That's not true. It was bad, but it wasn't terrible. And then I reread the book. So I had read the book years and years ago. And then I saw the movie and was like, I loved it. And I loved the book. Like the quote, my Goodreads quote in that book for that book review is, if you don't like this book, we're not friends. I loved that book. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, that's not that bad. It's not that bad. I guess Michael Cera's a freaking dweebus, but whatever. And he doesn't think he's good enough. I mean, Kat Denning thinks she's not good enough for him. In what fucking world is that a thing? No world at all. But anyway, and then I reread the book as an audiobook. And I wanted to go back in time to watching that movie and rip the cords out of the TV. So I try really hard not to watch movies of books that I like for that reason. Again, it's me. I'm not doing anybody any harm but myself. I would say that the best adaptation, the movie that I love despite all things, is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Because I love the Whomping Willow. I love the Peter Pettigrew subplot. I love Sirius Black. And I love Lupin so much. Is it a good adaptation? Given that they'd already decided to cut so much of like spew and all of those things were not in there, it was a fine adaptation because we were already at movie 3 by that point. But it's not better, but it's good. I have to think about that. I feel like there's been one movie in my life where I was like, this is the one time this is better. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit is my answer. So the question, in case you've forgotten in all my rambling, is, the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than the book? Jojo Rabbit. Okay, that's a long one. Catch you on the next one.